Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us on the St. Clair County Emergency Management page. I'm Herb Simmons, the St. Clair County Emergency Management Director. As promised, we're coming to you a little late this afternoon, but we wanted to give you what is the first of the daily updates that we will be doing on the COVID-19. I'm joined here today with a panel of people that's going to try to answer some of your questions. We will answer them later on, of course. We have Chairman Mark Kern with us here today, County Clerk Tom Holbrook, and of course the lady of the hour, Barb Holt, our Executive Director of the Health Department. We've got a lot of information to get out there to you today, and that's why we wanted to come to you this afternoon to try to dispel some of the rumors that are floating around out there. On the EMA side of it, we've been getting calls all day today from business owners about the economical problems they may be facing. Chairman Kern has requested, along with the state of Illinois, the Small Business Administration, to be looking at that. There's been no determination made on that. Once we get that information from the Illinois Department of Emergency Management Agency, we will post all that information just as we've been doing everything else. There was questions about have all the communities been notified of this situation. We've been sending out information for well over the last week to all the mayors, to all the first responders, every day, numerous times a day we've been doing all of that. Sheriff Watson has asked that I relay that immediately all visitors to the St. Clair County Jail are suspended, except for attorneys and judges, but visitors are not going to be allowed in there. So at this time, I'd like to turn it over to Chairman Kern on the procedures that's taking place at the courthouse.
Great. Thank you, Herb. Good afternoon. You know, it's important through this crisis that communications are the best they can possibly be. Answering questions, being upfront, open, honest, transparent are extremely important in times like these. And so we appreciate you being with us today to hear firsthand what's going on at this current time. County operations currently are going to continue to operate as normal with the following changes. We will have reduced staffing working from the courthouse building. Many of our employees will be working from home. If you need to access services at the county, for example, if you're trying to schedule a building inspection, we would ask that you call the court at 618-277-6600, 6600, and ask to speak to the appropriate office just to set up an appointment, to see someone, or maybe even to schedule something over the phone. Our goal in doing this is to minimize the need for people to come to the courthouse at this crucial time. Of course, if you're not feeling well, please don't come to the courthouse. Call the department you need, and accommodations will be made to solve your issue over the phone or online. As pertaining to the 20th Judicial Circuit, the Honorable Judge Andrew Gleason has sent notice that all civil matters are hereby continued until no earlier than Friday, April 10th, 2020. This includes major civil, arbitration, small claims, forcible entry and detainer, mortgage foreclosure, equity, and family. This does not include DUI, domestic violence, or criminal felony. If you have a question, please call 618-277-7325. And everybody, we ask that you remember, it just takes a moment to spread this virus from one person to another. We can break the germ cycle by washing your hands often and for 20 seconds. And always, after sneezing, coughing, handling food, or going to the bathroom, just like we've been taught all our lives. A lot of this is common sense. Do what we've always done, and we can prevent the spread of this virus.
Spreading across the world, across the United States, as well as Illinois. Today, the most current update we have is there are 100 cases in the state of Illinois. Right now, St. Clair County, we still only have 2 positive cases of coronavirus. But we don't want to be fooled by this. Now, what I would like to explain is the difference of why we're doing this social distancing and why we're closing the schools. And the reason we're doing that is to keep people apart. People can be carrying this virus without showing any outward signs of being ill. They feel fine, they are not coughing or sick, but they can, through sneezing or touching things or sharing food products or being in close contact, they can spread the virus without even knowing it. So the whole purpose of the social distancing, at least 6 feet, and closing of schools and limiting, trying to work from home and teleworking from home is so important. And when the kids are out of school, keep them home. That will break the chain of us spreading this virus from one person to the next to the next. That is so important. Distancing, that's the purpose. If we can continue to do that, hopefully we'll only have 2 cases in St. Clair County. Can I guarantee that? Absolutely not. But we can do everything that we possibly can to break that chain, especially for elderly folks or immunocompromised folks. A lot of, most of the long-term care, if not all the long-term care facilities and assisted living facilities and those places where the elderly folks may gather have limited visitors, or they've completely canceled any type of gatherings. The state of Illinois and CDC is still recommending no more than 50 folks at a social gathering. Governor Pritzker yesterday, as of 9 o'clock this evening, he is mandating, and governor's orders have mandated that all restaurants and bars close. And I would like to read a little bit more of the definition from what does that mean. So effective March 16th at 9 p.m. through March 30th, all businesses in the state of Illinois that offer food or beverages for on-site consumption, including restaurants, bars, grocery stores, and food halls, must suspend food service for on-premises consumption. They're permitted and encouraged to serve food and beverages for off-site premises currently permitted by law, such as house delivery, drive-through, and curbside pickup. Again, we're trying to break that chain of potentially contaminating another person by you by eliminating any close quarters dining. So again, grocery stores are open, but we're suspending the food service, the food bars, things of such nature within the grocery stores. It can be carry out only. However, also the governor has stated that the businesses located in airports, hospitals, and dining halls in colleges and universities are exempt from this requirement by this executive order. Hotel restaurants may continue to provide room service and carry out only. Again, a lot of things are changing day by day with this evolving situation, but if we as a community continue to follow and really be strict guidance in limiting our social distancing activities, we can beat this, and hopefully we won't have any more confirmed cases of COVID-19. As far as testing, this afternoon, the Public Health Director for the state of Illinois, and I would like to read specifically from their quote. This is Dr. Nagoy Ezeki. She said, "We know there's a lot of concern as the number of cases and locations are increasing across the state. However, not everyone who has respiratory symptoms like cough or shortness of breath need to be tested. Similarly, not everyone who is infected with novel coronavirus would seek medical treatment. They may not need it. We want to make sure that those that are at the highest risk of severe illness are prioritized for testing and that they may receive the medical care they need. We ask those who have mild symptoms to stay home so our health systems are not overwhelmed. Again, if you are sick, if you have symptoms, please call your medical provider first. Do not go to the medical clinics, to your doctor's office, or to the emergency room. Please call them first, and they will evaluate your situation and your symptoms and then give you advice on further treatment if necessary, or if you need to come into their office and their process for that. We can't emphasize that enough. If you're sick, please call the medical providers first. So finally, again, we're working to keep our community safe. Wash your hands, as the chairman said. Stay home if you're sick. Stay home if you're working from home and if the kids are out of school, keep them at home as well. We're going to break this chain of disease together, and that's what we need to do to get through this. Even though people may not all be tested, again, remember, you could be a carrier and you won't show any outward signs. So we're all in this together to make sure you wash your hands and keep that social distancing apart from each other so we can protect ourselves and protect our family members. Again, this is changing at all times. Please check either the county website, the health department's website, or Department of Public Health's website at dph.illinois.gov for the most update information, because it's changing constantly. And again, protect yourself, protect your family members, and we'll be in touch later this week.
Well, and I'd like to just follow up with Barb there. One of the calls that we continue to get and questions is, we don't have all the cases that other places have, and I think it's important to point out that's because we're being proactive, and that's what we're doing here today. So listen to what our Director Holt is saying and practice that good personal hygiene, and we'll get through this. And now I'd like to Tom Holbrook, the county clerk, because we got an election tomorrow, and that's another question that we've been even getting here at EMA. Why are we having an election?
Thank you, Herb, and thank you, Chairman. Tom Holbrook, the county clerk. One of my main functions here is to run elections in St. Clair County as part of my constitutional duties. We don't have the latitude to change elections on a local basis here. These are state-mandated elections, and we fulfill our constitutional obligation to hold these elections. That being said, we try to hold them in as a safe and as a convenient manner for the voters here in St. Clair County. Right now, over 7,000 people have already voted early in this election, either through the mail or went to our early voting sites. We had 5 early voting sites, opened on weekends and into the evenings. We're going to be open tomorrow, St. Patty's Day, but if you want to do your obligation as a good citizen and want to go vote, I can tell you we've taken some measures to protect your health. We've provided every location with sanitizer, spray sanitizers, with sanitary wipes to be able to clean up things. And our judges have all been given instructions on everything from spacing people to the control of that may look like they may have a problem health-wise. I would urge you, if you don't feel well, especially if you're running a fever, please don't come to the polls and infect your neighbors. I would also let you know that the elections run tomorrow from 6 in the morning to 7 at night. You have a large window there at which to come vote. And I can tell you that most polling locations hardly ever have more than a half a dozen voters in it at one time. So you can keep your space in between folks. In addition to that, I would like to mention my office also handles birth, death, and marriage records. If you need those records, you can go online and get them. One of the first things I did when I became county clerk was institute a ordering online of all those documents. And we handle literally thousands of those a week. So you don't have to come to our office if you don't want. Any questions you may have, you can call 825-2380. We'll be glad to answer your questions. And I wish everyone a very nice St. Patty's Day tomorrow. And if you can vote, please vote. Thank you.
Well, and we appreciate everybody taking the time this afternoon to join this update. And as we said at the beginning, we're going to be doing these every day at 3:30. We'll be bringing you all the latest information. The Health Department and EMA, along with Chairman Kern, we've been joined together through this, and we're going to continue to do that because that's our job to do so. I know there's probably questions out there today from this, and we will answer each and every one of them to the best of our ability. And if not, I'll call Barb and I'll have her answer them. But we really appreciate, we want everybody to stay safe. If you follow with what she's telling you here today, stay home if you have to go to work. Please just listen to what we're telling you, and we'll get through all of this. So if there's nothing else, ladies and gentlemen, we'll conclude this, and then we'll bring you an update tomorrow at 3:30. Thank you.